gente? What's going on? And welcome to Café con Primo, an episode that doesn't have any café. Move the camera around a bit because I already had my café. I had 2 coffees this morning. It's a really busy morning trying to get a bunch of stuff done. So I had my coffee while I was doing an additional audition, as well as submitting that, and then of course work this morning. Busy. I'm on my lunch break right now, so I want to recap the weekend a bit. I talked about had an audition this weekend and an in-person audition, and then of course I also had a self-tape audition that was due today, and I didn't really have a whole lot of time this weekend to get it done, so I had to kind of rush and do everything this morning. But luckily it was just acting. There was no singing involved. As you see, Brady's tail bouncing around behind me. But yeah, I was sick. Crazy sick. Gonna close the door because there's stuff going on outside too. I'm talking like crazy sinus, like problems. It was pretty rough. I had about half a CVS pharmacy rolling through my system as I went in on Saturday, but thankfully it went well. I think at least, except for a little thing that happened at the end of the dance. I'll get into it in a sec, but like prepping for the show, it's a style of show that I've never done before. There's comedy, and the music is like very jazz heavy, old-timey type stuff. Great music, and and iconic roles that I would have the opportunity to play if I get into this. But definitely a stretch and a new kind of challenge. And so it took all week to really like finalize what I was going to sing. And honestly, really didn't finalize the piece that I was going to sing for the audition until Saturday morning. Because a lot of it was based on what I was going to be able to hit, like in my range, because my sinuses were that messed up. But got it all sorted out. It went in, and we started with a dance audition, which, it wasn't a dance. I was in the group of the actors who can move, because I'm not a dancer. Your boy is not a dancer. I don't know how to tap. I don't know how to do the Charleston or anything like that, even though they did have us try to do the Charleston, which I don't know how you do the left foot on the Charleston. I can do the right foot, no problem. I can balance, keep that in time, but my left foot, for whatever reason, does not want to Charleston at all. But it was fun. It was a cool experience. And by the end of the instructional period, I was able to get most of the rest of the routine down pretty well. But I think I did okay in the dance portion. Something though that has never happened in an audition for me before is at the end of it, they lined everybody up and they were like, all right, everybody, one by one, just come down through the middle and let's see your best trick. What? Best trick? What do you mean? And, of course, there was a bunch of people who are far more talented and gifted in movement than I was, and ahead of me. And a homegirl that went first did like a double back handspring. Like, it was insane. It was nuts. And I was like, oh man, this is the kind of thing that they want. And then there were some people that came and kind of like did a joke and like a little like dance thing. But, it was a little lighthearted, but here I was now like unprepared on the fly, just trying to come up with my quote unquote best trick. And I panicked. And, at first, I thought I'm gonna like run and slide air guitar style, but I was like, no, I'm gonna mess myself up trying to do that. And then I was like, I can just like start ranting in Spanish and like try to tell a joke. But I was like, there was like 3 people in front of me. There was 2 people in front of me trying to think about what I was gonna say. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna end up like stumbling my words, and it's not gonna come out right. It's gonna be weird and awkward and So no. And so it gets to me, I still haven't decided what I'm gonna do, and I just blurt out, I have no idea, I'm just gonna sea walk like I used to in high school. And I did, I crip walked like down the way, and it got a little reaction. It was fun. And your boy can still sea walk. However, the last little hop that I did to end it, I hop onto my right foot, and I feel a very, very sharp pain, a line go from the bottom of my knee all the way to the top, like along the front. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. And it was actually kind of funny because like as I'm going through, like I get to like the end of it, the corner, and the director of the show is like right there, and he's laughing, he's smiling, he's having a fantastic time, and it's a lighthearted thing. He smiles at me, and he was like, "All right," and I go, "I think I just blew out my knee." That's all I could say, because I was in like shock and panic and so confused, and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think so." And I just kind of like laughed it off, and I was able to kind of walk still, and so it didn't seem to be that serious. I get out of the room, they dismiss us, and I have about 15 minutes to go until I got to go in and sing my song. And so I go out to the car, and I try to sit down, and I realize that like my entire knee is just numb. I can barely move it. I messed something up in my knee, like real bad. And so I'm panicking, and I'm trying to catch my breath from the dancing, and then I've got to like try to warm up because like I said, I got 15 minutes until I have to go in. And but thankfully, I think maybe adrenaline kicked in a little bit, and I was able to grab my stuff. I went in and changed my clothes, cleaned myself up a little bit, fixed my hair, and as I came out of the bathroom to like sit down and try to catch my breath, and I was gonna review the song that I chose, the receptionist person there, she was like, "You're Brian, right? Like you're gonna be up next. As soon as this person is out, you'll be going in." So I was like, I didn't have enough time to even listen to my song once on my headphones before being called in. By the time I pulled my phone out, got my headphones in, and loaded up the song, they were like, "All right, Brian, here you go. You're all set." So it was probably for the best, because I went in, I spoke with the accompanist, I handed her the sheet music, everything was fine, we worked it out, it was good. I think I performed the song to the best of my abilities, given my nasal congestion circumstances, because again, I can't breathe through this whole process too, and now I also can't feel my leg. So I was able to move around a little bit, but thankfully, like the monologue that I chose is not one that has me running around all kind of crazy. It was more of like a one-on-one conversation type thing. But I delivered that one well, got a few laughs, and I don't know if it was the assistant director or the accompanist, but at the end of my monologue, I like deliver my line, like the last little like button on the end of it, and I turn around and walk away. And so my back was turned to the room at the end of it, and someone said, "Oh, that was great. I'd like to hear more of that," because it's clearly like an ongoing conversation. So that was a dope reaction from somebody. Again, I think it was the accompanist, but it might have been the assistant director. I'm not entirely sure. Couldn't really clearly hear where that came from, but so that's a good sign. And then of course they told me that they're going to be reaching out early this week for callbacks, because the callbacks are this Saturday, so they don't have a whole lot of time. So hopefully today or tomorrow, hearing back and see if I got a callback for that. But yeah, I got out of there, came home, and that's when I was able to finally like relax. I took a shower and feel my knee a bit, and yeah, it was pretty jacked. For the last like 2 days, I've been hobbling around all day Saturday and all day yesterday, hobbling around, and I wasn't able to lift my knee, extend my leg on my own, just pulling it. So I was really starting to panic, and I was like, "Ooh, maybe I should." So I've just been icing it down and trying to give it, because I can walk. It's a little painful and a little discomfort, but so I was, I wanted to wait and see. And now this morning I've woken up and it's feeling a whole lot better. I'm still not 100% convinced that there's not something wrong there, but I can extend my knee now. It's, I can walk around a bit. It's nowhere near as painful or swollen or anything as it was yesterday. So I think just continuing to ice it down, I think I might be just like sprained something or But we will see. I'll keep an eye on it. And if I do think I need to end up going to the doctor, I'll have to try to go do that before the end of this week. And then sinus stuff is finally starting to clear up as well a bit. It's still a little bit annoying, but and I'm feeling a whole lot better. So hopefully by this Saturday, if I do get that call back, then I'll be, good to go there. All right, quick interjection. As I'm about to export this, I just got the email. I got the call back. So looks like I'll be working on that audition for the rest of the week. All right, back to the conversation. I was also able to go see some friends at Georgetown in their show. They opened this weekend, and it was great to see, the cats over there. They're doing She Loves Me, which is a show that I had never seen before, but it is the story that You Got Mail is based on, the Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan movie from the 90s. And it's like the similarities are like, it's like 1-to-1. It's clearly been adapted. There's like scenes that are almost identical to, the Tom Hanks version. But of course, this one is set in the 20s. It's a different dynamic. It's a little bit, different. And of course, it's a musical. It was great. It was absolutely fantastic. It was such a fun night. To get to go and see all of them and have a little date night with Melissa. It was a lot of fun. It was a great way to end the weekend, and I hope they have a fantastic run. Hopefully I'll get a chance to go out and see that show once more before it closes, because folks over there are phenomenal. So like I said, this morning I submitted another audition. This is for a filmed project. It's not a narrative. I think it's a web educational thing for like a medical company. I don't know how much more than that I can really say. But it's a big company and it's a pretty big gig, and it would require me to travel for this, which is kind of cool. But it would be like a short shoot, nothing, too crazy. So we should be able to go out for like a day or two and be able to come back, which would be super fun, super awesome if I get it. But long shot. But again, just trying to go through the motions, get through the practice of auditioning, learning lines, self-tapes, just, repetition, reps, and just keep throwing my hat into these acting projects to try to see what lands and kind of go from there. So, that's what I'll be doing this week is, preparing for a callback in case I get one over the next couple of days. Hopefully I'll hear something a little more specific, but in the meantime, just familiarizing myself with the show. So that regardless of who they ask me to read for, if they ask me to read for somebody, I'll have a little bit of idea of how I want to take it and what I want to do with the material that they ask for. So that's my focus this week. And then hopefully, if everything clears up, get to shoot some more music stuff. I need to film some performance videos that I was going to try to do this weekend, but I was just too sick. It was too much stuff going on for me to be able to do those. So hopefully this week we'll get some performance videos out for Who's to Blame, Back in the Day, and New Beginning. And maybe I'll even put a little bit of a preview of my next song. I can't remember which one it is that's on the release schedule, but I think it's La Vagabond. I want to say I'm basically going through that EP song for song, and that's going to be the next one that's on the list. That one has been 99, we'll call it, percent finished, like remastering that session and that record. So gonna do like one more pass on it just to make sure I like everything the way it sounds, and then maybe we'll share that before the end of this week as well, because that will be the next thing that gets released probably in a week or two. I'm trying to keep these moving fairly quickly, definitely this month, so make sure you tune back for that. But that's pretty much it. This is essentially my lunch break. I'm gonna go grab my greens smoothie over there and get back to work. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this little chat. I really do always appreciate it. Again, as of right now, there are only 2 paid Patreon members, so I will shout them out individually. Thank you so much to Mythos and my mom for supporting me and showing the love the way y'all do. I really appreciate it. So that's gonna do it. We'll see y'all around, and as always, one love.